Afternoon. We're here for the Mayor's budget hearing with the Metro Sports Authority this afternoon. I'm joined by Talia Lomax O'Neill, the city's finance director, and by Brian Kelsey, the city's chief strategy officer as well. We have Council Lady Taneka Vercher, chair of Budget and Finance, and Councilman Robert Swope, the chair of the Codes Farmers Market Committee of the Metro Council. Thank you for coming. I've been starting off these hearings, if you've watched any of them, with a spiel about how we're asking for a status quo budget. That's because property tax revenues are not going to be quite as strong this year as other years. Our overall revenues are not going to grow like they've grown in the past years, so we've asked everybody to come with a status quo budget, essentially. We believe that we can maintain the current tax rate and still provide the same level of services if everybody does that. So that's where we are this year. If you could introduce yourself and Ms. Adkins, who is with you, and give us a brief presentation. We'll probably have a few questions for you. Not difficult questions, so I'm sure.
Okay, good. Well, good afternoon, Mayor Briley, Finance Director O'Neill, and Mr. Kelsey. We appreciate the opportunity to be here today. Beside me is Sports Authority Chair Kim Adkins, and behind me is our staff, Alicia Montesserin, the Administrative Services Officer, Quentin Herring, our Special Event Coordinator. Not sure if Kalat is here. We had a board member who planned to join us. She may come in. And then we are, as always, very pleased to have representatives from our facilities, from the Predators. We have President and CEO Sean Henry. We have David Kells. We have Michelle Kennedy, Kyle Clayton. Did I miss anybody? No, okay. That's the Predators. And then also from the Titans, we are pleased to have President and CEO Steve Underwood, Bob Flynn, Walter Overton, and I think that's it. So we always enjoy great support from our facility managers, and we appreciate you all being here with us today. The Sounds are traveling, the Nashville Sounds, and so they send their regrets that they were unable to be here. As you know, the Sports Authority serves as the owner and landlord of the city's professional sports and entertainment venues, Nissan Stadium, Bridgestone Arena, the 2017 Polestar and AIBA Arena of the Year, First Tennessee Park, and also Ford Ice Center. And we are charged with keeping them in first-class condition. In 2017 alone, more than 1.5 million people visited Bridgestone Arena. We had over 500,000 people that were at First Tennessee Park. We understand that our venues are important to the enjoyment and the quality of life of our residents and visitors, our sports team, and both Nashville's music and tourism industries. And as such, the care and maintenance of our facilities is a charge that the Sports Authority takes very seriously. We have submitted a status quo operating budget for FY19, and we will be working towards the savings goal that we previously discussed with OMB for the current fiscal year. With regards to our recent accomplishments, we were thankful to have received funding both this year and last year through the Public Investment Plan. In FY17, this funding allowed us to hire a special events coordinator, Quentin Herring, whom I introduced earlier. And this was done to increase our capacity for both civic and community events inside the Nissan Stadium footprint. As expected, we have seen substantial increases both in the number of events and the revenue that we have generated. And then in FY18, the PIP funding, along with contributions from the Sounds and the Titans and some other great community partners, allowed us to add breastfeeding infrastructure in the form of 2 Mamava pods to Nissan Stadium and First Tennessee Park. And we appreciate your help, Mr. Kelsey, and also Finance Director with that. Mamavas are clean, private, ADA-compliant nursing spaces, and they have really been a hit at our facilities this year. Over the past 2 years, the Sports Authority, in partnership with our teams and facility managers, has also made great strides towards prolonging the lives of our facilities. We have completed full seat replacement projects at both Bridgestone Arena and Nissan Stadium, and we've made major repairs to many of the stadium's old and faulty expansion joints, which had resulted in some leaks and damage to the facility. Suites at both facilities have either been renovated or are in the queue. Additionally, in an attempt to better understand the current condition and the future needs of both Bridgestone Arena and Nissan Stadium, we engaged a local firm to perform comprehensive facility assessment studies on the buildings, and we're now using the recommendations that we provided from the study to inform and also prioritize future capital spending. I do think it's important to note that both of these projects, the seat replacement and the study, are being funded with seat use and CMA concession revenue, which means that the fans and the visitors who sit in the seats are the ones who are paying for them. Also, I would be remiss if I failed to mention that over the past couple of years, our teams and facility managers have made sizable private investments into our venues, from restroom renovations and HVAC refurbishments to suite renovations, food court, concessions build-out, and metal detectors. Each of our teams has contributed to the facilities that they call home. In addition to our major league teams and venues, the Sounds continue to look for opportunities to expand the use of First Tennessee Park. This past fall, they hosted their first concert, Kings of Leon. Tonight, they will host Vanderbilt Belmont baseball game, and I'm sure you know they are gearing up to host Nashville FC's inaugural season. And last but certainly not least, Ford Ice Center in Antioch continues to provide an important opportunity for the community to actively participate in hockey leagues, learn to skate programs, and the Scott Hamilton Skating Academy, which over the past 4 years has grown from 4 to 1,400 participants. So from NHL rookie camps to U.S. figure skating Olympic qualifiers, in just 4 years, Ford Ice Center has become one of the premier and busiest ice centers in the country. So the Nashville sports scene is better than ever. I don't think anyone could deny that. ESPN has recognized the Predators as the #1 team in all of Major League Sports. The Titans are back in the playoffs this season, and I think what we saw last summer with the Stanley Cup finals was something that none of us will ever forget. And as we look to the future, we are thrilled that Nashville finished at the top of the list for Major League Soccer's next expansion team. We appreciate the work of MLS to Nashville and the leadership of John Ingram, Mary Cavara, and Nashville Soccer Holdings. We remain excited about the possibilities of a new stadium at the fairground, hosting an NFL draft, another women's Final Four, and years from now, we hope, a World Cup. Our continued focus is to have first-class facilities that our community can enjoy and that will attract world-class events like the ones I just mentioned. And with your support and the support of the Metro Council and our professional sports teams, we can get there. I'm pleased to answer any questions.
It's a terrific overview. I mean, from an operating budget perspective, you have a very small budget, not a whole lot of options there. I appreciate your cooperation.
Absolutely.
As always, in working with us. You're just such a joy to work with.
Well, we appreciate your
are.
support. Thank you.
You really are. The only thing I think we've been in conversation recently about are some of the capital needs.
Yes.
Because we do know those are much needed at this time. So I didn't know if you wanted to spend any more time talking about that, or if to the mayor while we're here.
Well, as you know, we have facilities that are over 20 years old, and so the capital needs present more frequently. I think that the facility assessment study, as I mentioned earlier, is a really helpful tool to kind of guide and inform how we move forward with those. And so we're continuing to work with the team to look at, a 5-year plan. But, clearly the city has important obligations to the teams, and it's the right thing to do. We've got to keep the facilities in first-class condition, and we look forward to continued conversations about that in the future.
Thank you.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank you for your initiative and your leadership on the public investment plan program. I was glad to see you pull that off pretty flawlessly, and one of the goals for that program was to attract some private investment, private involvement, and build public-private partnerships that we could use to showcase to other metro agencies and departments as examples. At least for the round that I was responsible for, I think I might have had one other one with strong private sector participation, but I think you really kind of led the way and demonstrated what we were trying to do there. Thoughts?
Thank you.
Thoughts. So you said it was pretty well received, and you've got some good reviews.
We have. We've gotten great reviews, and again, understanding that we have the Sounds and the Titans who are in the room were fantastic partners on that project, and it was a need that we had seen. We appreciate the Titans who, even over and above the contribution that they made to the PIP, realized that there is a need for spaces for nursing moms. And so they looked at the facility and said, we have 3 other areas that are being unused. And so in addition to the funding of the pods, they also converted those spaces into nursing rooms. And the Predators have done the same thing at Bridgestone Arena, and so we're excited about that.
And has it worked out moving? I know there's a little bit of an unknown with Public Works and maybe some questions about how they'd be transported. Has all that worked out?
That piece really has been the challenge. We are continuing to work with Public Works and hoping that we can deploy the pods for Earth Day. We think there's some really important local opportunities to do that.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for your help.
Okay.
So over the last, 2 weeks, I have learned that the people don't think that I don't know anything about sports. I was recently I was recently challenged on the idea that I didn't know what icing was. So I did know, and I knew also that the rule had changed not too long ago. And but still, I think there's a perception that I don't know anything about sports, which is not true. I will tell you that. I do know a little. And I did attend the first concert at First Tennessee Park. I was there for the Kings of Leon. So I'm a participant occasionally, I guess is what I would say.
Well, we look forward to having you at more of our events. And the Titans are really, they're doing a great job increasing the number of events at the stadium. Of course, Bridgestone Arena, they always do a fantastic job, and the Sounds too. So we're excited.
Well, all of the teams are a key factor in knitting together the community. Because there are very few people who are initially from Nashville anymore. We're all from all over the world, and so it's my sense that the investment that we make together to have the sports teams here is important for building community and keeping us all going in the same direction, when sometimes it's easy to get divided up into tribes. Let's all be part of the Preds tribe and the Titans tribe and stick together a little bit. So I'm a big supporter and I look forward to adding another venue to your portfolio in the coming months. So,
thank you. We appreciate your support.
Sure.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.